Good day. Today we are going to discuss about the environmental crisis and sustainable development. I am Nera Sakay together with my team, Lovely Sahay and Joanne Nicole Shanko. The first topic is the greenhouse effect. Second, the world's leading environmental problem. And lastly, combating global warming. The learning outcomes. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to discuss the difference and manifestation of global environmental crisis, relate everyday encounters with population, global warming, and many others. Although we examine the economic, political, and cultural aspect of globalization separately, it is important to emphasize that each of these dimensions impacts on and has consequences for the other domains. Greenhouse effect. Global temperature have been increasingly significant, leading to the melting of large chunks of the world's major ice reserves. The North Polar ice cap has lost 15% to 20% of its mass every decade since 1980 and could vanish by 2015. The complete melting of the large Greenland would result in a global rise of 22 feet. But even a smaller rise would spell doom for many great coastal regions such as Tuvalu and Kiribati and large coastal cities such as Tokyo, New York, London, and Sydney. Sea level and water temperature rise as a result of global warming are not the only serious problems threatening the health of our planet's ocean. Overfishing, the loss of coral reefs, coastal population, acidification, mega oil spills such as the following 2010 BP oil rig explosion in the Gulf of Mexico, and illegal bumping of hazardous waste have had a devastating impact on the Earth's marine environments. Ecosystems are defined as communities composed of animals, flora, and microorganisms that interact with their chemical and physical environment and are interlinked through complex process of nutrients cycling. Animals include people, who today are the most dominant species in regard to growth. They influence the ecosystem. The greenhouse effect is a natural process that occurs when a certain gases in Earth's atmosphere trap heat from the sun, warming the planet's surface. However, human activities such as burning fossil fuels have increased the concentration of these gases, leading to enhanced greenhouse effect and global warming, causes climate change.
The world's leading environmental problems. There are 12 environmental problems, which are the depredation caused by industrial and transportation, toxins and plastic in the ground, sea, rivers. Changes in global weather problems like flash floods, extreme snowstorms, spread of deserts, and surge of oceans. Overpopulation. The exhaustion of the world's natural non-renewable resources from oil reserves to mineral to potable water. A waste disposal catastrophe due to excessive amount of waste. The destruction of million-year-old ecosystem and the loss of biodiversity. The reduction of oxygen and the increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere because of deforestation. The depletion of the ozone layer protecting the planet from the sun's deadly ultraviolet rays. Deadly acid rain as a result of fossil fuel combustion, toxic chemicals from erupting volcanoes. Water pollution arising from industrial and community waste residues seeping into underground water table, rivers, and seas. Urban sprawls that continue to expand as a city turns into a megalopolis, destroying farmlands, increasing traffic gridlock. Pandemics and other threats to public health arising from waste mixing with drinking water. Man-made pollution. Humans are a major cause of environmental problems in Saudi Arabia, China, India, Nigeria, and Botswana. In Saudi Arabia, sunstorms combined with combustion exchange from traffic and industrial waste have led to the World Health Organization declaring Riyadh as one of the most polluted cities in the world. In India, air pollution was its worst in 2015, while in Nigeria by 1949, air pollution is reaching its dangerous level. Gaborone, the capital of Botswana, is the 70th most polluted city in the world. Climate change. Global warming is caused by the accumulation of billions of tons of carbon dioxide, air pollution, and other gases in the atmosphere trapping the sun's radiation and causing the warming of the Earth's surface. This greenhouse effect has sped up the rise of the world's temperature, with a consensus that it has risen at a faster rate in the last 50 years, despite efforts by climate change deniers that the world had cooled off in 1998.
Combating global warming. In 1997, 192 countries shared the Kyoto Protocol to reduce greenhouse gases. This protocol set targets but left it to individual countries to determine the best way to achieve them. The Paris Accord was negotiated in December 2015 and seeks to limit the increase in the global average temperature based on the targeted goals. Social movements have better success working together with some pressure on the government to regulate global warming. In South Africa, communities engage in environmental activism to pressure industries to reduce emissions and lobby parliament for the passage of pro-environment laws. Combating global warming. In 1997, 192 countries shared the Kyoto Protocol to reduce greenhouse gases. This protocol set targets but left it to individual countries to determine the best way to achieve them. The Paris Accord was negotiated in December 2015 and seeks to limit the increase in the global average temperature based on the targeted goals. Social movements have better success working together with some pressure on the government to regulate global warming. In South Africa, communities engage in environmental activism to pressure industries to reduce emissions and lobby parliament for the passage of pro-environment laws. Combating global warming. In El Salvador, local officials and grassroots organizations post craft diversification, a reduction of industrial sugarcane production, production of endangered species from devastating effect of commercial fishing, the preservation of lowlands being eroded by deforestation, and inconsistent release of water from a newly dam. Universities partner with government producing attainable programs of controlling pollution. In Japan, pollution pressured to pass 14 laws passed at once in what became known as the Pollution Diet of 1970. Japan has some of the least polluted cities in the world. Challenges. These massive environmental problems are difficult to resolve because governments believe that for their community to become truly developed, they must be industrialized, urbanized, and inhabited by a robust middle class with access to the best of modern amenities. Here's the thing, a developed society economy must also have provisions for the poor, jobs in industrial sector, public transport system, and cheap food. Food depends on countries' free trade with other food producers. It also relies on a modernized agricultural sector in which toxic technologies and modified crops ensure maximize productivity. The model of this ideal modern society is the US, which until the 1970s was a global economic. The US, however, did not reach these high points without serious environmental consequences. US is responsible for 27% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions. These ecological consequences, however, are far from the mind of countries like China, India, and Indonesia, which are now in the midst of a frenzied effort to achieve and sustain economic growth to catch up with the West. Encourage energy overconsumption, waste, and efficiency also fuel environmental pollution. If a country wants to maintain its current economic growth path and sustain its drive for poverty, oil exploration and production will continue to be a dominant 71 economic activity. If the US lets its countries to reason, therefore why they could not sacrifice the environment in the name of a progress.